Basquiat DDP Seoul. Imagine standing in the heart of Seoul, a city thrumming with the relentless pulse of the future. Before you looms a structure that defies convention, an immense silver-skinned vessel that seems to have landed from another galaxy. This is the Dongdaemun Design Plaza, the DDP, a masterpiece of neo-futuristic architecture conceived by the legendary Zaha Hadid. Its surfaces are a symphony of seamless curves, flowing and liquid, without a single hard angle to interrupt their metallic grace. It's a building that doesn't just occupy space, it redefines it, embodying a vision of a world that is sleek, optimized, and technologically transcendent. Now, step inside. You walk through its cavernous, undulating halls, spaces that feel more like the interior of a starship than a gallery. And then you see it. A canvas, raw and explosive. A furious scrawl of color, text, and symbol that feels like a visceral scream from a concrete alleyway. A jagged, three-pointed crown, hastily drawn but radiating immense power. This is the profound, electrifying cognitive dissonance at the heart of the Signs Connecting Past and Future exhibition. This is Jean-Michel Basquiat, unleashed inside the future. This exhibition isn't merely a collection of paintings hung on a wall. It's a meticulously staged collision of worlds, a deliberate and brilliant curatorial statement. The choice of the DDP as the venue is the first and most powerful sign the visitor encounters. To understand its impact, you have to understand the DDP itself. It stands on historical ground, the site of ancient city walls and, later, a bustling stadium. Its construction was a bold declaration of Seoul's identity as a global hub of design and innovation. Hadid called it a metonymic landscape, a place where form and function merge, where architecture becomes a living part of the city's fabric. It is a monument to progress, to clean lines, and to the controlled, elegant aesthetics of tomorrow. The raw canvas against the sleek, curved walls of the DDP presents a challenge to this polished vision. Basquiat's work is the absolute antithesis of this environment. His art was born from the grit, the decay, and the chaotic, creative energy of 1980s New York City. It's the art of cracked pavement, of graffiti-tagged subway cars, of a society grappling with deep-seated issues of race, poverty, and power. His lines are not clean. They are frantic, jagged, and dripping with urgency. His compositions are not balanced. They are deliberately jarring, layered with crossed-out words, anatomical diagrams, and symbols appropriated from history, pop culture, and the streets. Placing this art here creates an immediate, unavoidable dialogue. It's like listening to a blistering jazz solo in the pristine silence of a science lab. The sleek perfection of the DDP amplifies the raw, untamed humanity of Basquiat's work, and in turn, his work exposes the messy, complicated truths that often hide beneath the polished veneer of progress. It forces you to ask, what is the place of this raw expression in our vision of the future? Is there room for this kind of furious, unfiltered commentary in a world obsessed with seamless design and digital perfection? The exhibition's title, Signs Connecting Past and Future, becomes immediately tangible. The DDP is the future, a gleaming promise of what's to come. Basquiat is the past, a powerful voice from a specific tumultuous era. The connection is the electric current that arcs between them, a conversation that happens right before your eyes. You feel the tension, you feel the energy. The initial impact isn't just about appreciating the art, it's about experiencing this carefully orchestrated cultural and aesthetic shock. It's a curatorial masterstroke that prevents you from viewing Basquiat as a historical figure, a relic to be passively admired. Instead, the setting catapults him directly into the present moment, making his voice feel more immediate and necessary than ever. It suggests that the path to the future, represented by the DDP's flowing lines, is not a straight one. It must carry with it the scribbled warnings, the crowned heroes, and the uncomfortable questions that Basquiat painted decades ago. This initial experience sets the stage for everything that follows, preparing you to look deeper, not just at the canvases, but at the very signs they hold for our shared journey forward. This isn't just Basquiat in a gallery, it's Basquiat in dialogue with the 21st century, his ghost haunting the machine of modernity. Block 2. Basquiat Art Legacy. Beyond the stunning architectural shell of the DDP, the real conversation begins when you stand before the canvases themselves, immersing yourself in Basquiat's dense and revolutionary visual language. Take a breath. The exhibition's title, Signs, is the key that unlocks his entire universe. Take a breath. Basquiat was a master semiotician of the streets, a poet who painted, and a painter who wrote. Take a breath. His works are not silent images. They are complex webs of signs, symbols, and text that demand to be read, decoded, and felt. He was building a new mythology, one that took the detritus of history, advertising, and urban life and reassembled it into a powerful commentary on the world as he saw it. At the heart of this lexicon is perhaps his most famous sign, the iconic three-pointed crown. This was far more than a recurring motif or a personal logo. It was a radical act of anointing. In a world and an art history that had systematically excluded Black figures, Basquiat used his crown to elevate his heroes. He crowned jazz musicians like Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie. He crowned athletes like Jesse Owens and Sugar Ray Robinson. In doing so, he was single-handedly rewriting the canon, placing these cultural giants into a lineage of royalty and sainthood. But the crown was also for himself. It was a declaration of his own genius, a defiant assertion of his worth in an art world that was often hostile and tokenizing. It's a sign of power, but it's a self-generated power, one that doesn't ask for permission. Seeing these crowns in Seoul, a global capital, reinforces their universal message. Dignity and greatness are not bestowed by institutions. They are inherent and can be claimed. Then there is his revolutionary use of text. Words in a Basquiat painting are never just labels, they are active participants. He scribbled, listed, and repeated words, but most famously, he crossed them out. This act of erasure or strike-through is a brilliant piece of visual poetry. As Basquiat himself explained, crossing out a word doesn't negate it, it makes you want to read it more. It's a sign that points directly to the hidden, the suppressed, the unspoken. It draws your attention to the power and politics of language itself. When he writes "man is good, CO," and then furiously scribbles it out, he is engaging in a complex dialogue about innocence, corruption, ownership, and cliché. His canvases are filled with these textual games, lists of historical figures, anatomical terms, and corporate logos, all jumbled together. This was his way of sampling the world, much like a hip-hop DJ samples beats. He took the language of power from textbooks, from advertising, from science, and deconstructed it, revealing its biases and absurdities. This method is what makes his work timeless. In an age of information overload, where we are constantly bombarded with text and branding, Basquiat's chaotic, text-filled canvases feel like a perfect representation of our fragmented digital consciousness. His signs also delved deep into the flesh. His obsession with anatomy, skulls, bones, organs, stems from a childhood car accident that led to a long hospital stay and a gift from his mother, a copy of Absima. This book became a foundational text for him. The body in his work is a site of vulnerability and resilience. The recurring skulls are not just symbols of death, they are memento mori that also serve as raw self-portraits, stripping away the surface of race to get at a shared, fragile humanity. Yet they are also potent commentaries on the Black body in America, a body historically subjected to violence, scrutiny, and exploitation. These anatomical drawings are signs of what lies beneath the surface, the raw biological truth that society often tries to ignore or control. By connecting these themes to the exhibition's title, we see how Basquiat's work truly does connect the past and future. His signs protesting racism and police brutality in the 1980s are tragically just as urgent today. His critiques of capitalism and the commodification of culture have only grown more pointed in our hyper-commercialized world. His exploration of identity, a messy collage of history, influence, and personal experience, perfectly mirrors contemporary conversations about intersectionality and selfhood. The signs he painted are not historical artifacts. They are living messages transmitted from his time to ours, proving that the struggles, the questions, and the search for power and meaning are a continuous, unbroken thread. Block 3. Basquiat Global Impact. So, what does it ultimately mean to see these fiercely American, deeply personal signs transplanted here into the futuristic landscape of Seoul? It speaks to the final and perhaps most crucial aspect of Basquiat's legacy, his undeniable global impact. His voice, forged in the crucible of downtown New York, has proven to be astonishingly universal. The themes he wrestled with, the search for identity in a hostile world, the critique of power structures, the celebration of marginalized histories, are not confined by geography. They resonate with anyone, anywhere, who has ever felt like an outsider looking in. This is why his work is as revered in Tokyo and Paris as it is in Brooklyn. In Seoul, a city that has undergone its own dramatic transformations and grappled with its own questions of identity on the world stage, Basquiat's story of a young, ambitious artist breaking through institutional barriers strikes a powerful chord. His influence is visible not just in galleries, but in the DNA of contemporary culture, from fashion collaborations that plaster his art on luxury goods to shout-outs from K-pop idols who admire his rebellious spirit. This exhibition is a testament to the fact that Basquiat is no longer just an American artist. He is a global icon of creative defiance. The Dongdaemun Design Plaza, in this context, becomes more than just a venue. It serves as a powerful metaphor for the ongoing journey of art and culture. Zaha Hadid's creation is a symbol of a sleek, interconnected, globalized future. It represents the world that technology and progress are building for us. By placing Basquiat's raw, chaotic, and profoundly human art at its very center, the curators make a bold statement. The future cannot and should not erase the complexities of the past. Basquiat's frantic energy, contained within the DDP's serene curves, creates a necessary friction. It suggests that for all our technological advancement, we still need the visceral truth-telling that art provides. The future, in all its polished glory, needs Basquiat's ghost in the machine to remind it of the persistent struggles for justice, the importance of individual voice, and the messy, beautiful, and often painful reality of the human condition. The DDP provides a vessel, but Basquiat provides the soul. It is the perfect physical manifestation of the exhibition's theme, a structure designed for the future, housing the essential messages from the past that we must carry forward. This brings us to the core of what connecting past and future truly means for Basquiat's enduring influence. The connection is not a nostalgic look backward. It is an active, ongoing dialogue. The exhibition demonstrates that Basquiat's work is not a closed chapter from the 1980s art scene. Instead, it is a living document, a set of urgent questions that continue to demand answers. His signs, the crowns, the crossed-out words, the skulls, are not relics. They are tools that new generations across the globe can use to decode their own realities. He showed that art could be made from anything, that a voice from the margins could roar loud enough to shake the establishment, and that the most profound statements could be hidden in a seemingly chaotic scrawl. This exhibition in Seoul solidifies his position not as an artist of his time, but a perpetual contemporary, a prophetic voice whose concerns have become the central concerns of the 21st century. His legacy is not just in the auction prices or the museum retrospectives. It's in the spirit of every young artist who picks up a spray can, every musician who samples a piece of history to create something new, and every individual who dares to crown themselves in a world that tells them they are worthless. Basquiat's art is a sign that the past is never truly past, and that its unresolved energy is precisely what will shape the future.